We may have one of the more obvious examples that yet another member of the Trump administration couldn't care less about Americans and their safety. So I mean, most Americans. There is a certain American that he does care about, and that's what makes this so fascinating. I'm talking there about the dude you just saw, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Take a look at what he had to say recently.
Newark Airport has just had a number of issues come up, in part due to air traffic controllers, the amount of people required to do the job. And it's a busy airport that I fly in and out of. So maybe a bit of a personal question, too, with both the runway closed for construction till June, air traffic controller issues. I have to fly up next Monday morning to get there before your wife gets off TV.
Listen, it's the airport I use as well. By the way, my wife was flying out of Newark tomorrow. I switched her flight to LaGuardia.
But like, do you know that that's a bad thing to say? Like, as the head of transportation? By the way, look, I understand doing it. And I understand that knowing the little that I know about the situation. I'll tell you what I know. It's bad. He obviously knows more. So if he reroutes her, who's taking that as a show of confidence? I mean, you could have a mass number of people canceling their flights. You could have people insisting on refunds because this is a clear sign for the Secretary of Transportation that he doesn't have faith. He's not willing to risk his wife flying there. And like he just says it, it's just an offhand comment. Like it's totally cool. Can you imagine if Buttigieg had been like, yeah, Chasen was gonna fly in and like, not in Newark, buddy, not on my watch. What would Fox News have said about that? But anyway, pair what you just heard with what he had to say just a few days ago and compare it.
The Congress and the country haven't paid attention to it, right? They expect it to work. And so now I think the lights are blinking, the sirens are turning, and they're saying, listen, we have to fix this because what you see in Newark is gonna happen in other places across the country.
Yeah, and that would be an absolute tragedy because then think about how many different reroutings he might have to do for the people he actually cares about. Like, oh God, like, well, my wife can't go there, that'll probably crash, probably land upside down over there. This is such an inconvenience for the elites in our government. And that's the only part of it that really seems to care about. Like, again, if you think that your wife might die flying into there, then sure. Reroute her plane. I would do the same for my wife. I want to keep her around for a little bit. But like, then you gotta be honest with the American people. You gotta say that we've got a crisis even more significant than you've previously revealed, and people should avoid flying in there. And if there's other airports that are in as bad, as dire straits, then you have to be honest with that. Because can you imagine now, as tragic as it would have already been if a plane were to crash today at Newark or whatever, but if it turns out that he had secret information about how bad it was that led him to, I mean, not even secretly, I guess, but corruptly take her from going there, but implying that it's still safe for other people, like how enraged people would be and should be as a result of that. But I just want to remind everyone very briefly of the issues they've been having. 3 significant tech outages in the past 2 weeks. Radar screens went black, radios fell silent for about 30 seconds. An experience so harrowing that flight traffic controllers have taken trauma leave as a result of that. That is some Breaking Bad stuff right there. Screens again went dark on May 9th for about 90 seconds. And on May 11th, an equipment outage caused a group stop for 45 minutes. Now, I don't know how far a plane can fly in 90 seconds, but they go pretty fast. I mean, they gotta be hitting 50, 60 miles per hour. And so I'm thinking the world could end in 90 seconds at a busy airport. So like it would be terrible and inconvenient and costly to shut it down until it's safe. But maybe that's what's required. Again, I don't know. I literally don't know. But maybe he does. And with how much Donald Trump cares about not having bad news, obviously, indisputably cares more than he does about American people. If they're considering behind the scenes shutting it down, does anyone have faith that they'll decide for the right reasons? When he's already been clear that as far as his family is concerned, it is already shut down. It's just still open for business when it comes to your family.